What is up, superfans? I'm Matt Stockholm, and this is another edition of the Quantum Corner. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. I always appreciate it, not to mention your guys' feedback. Today I'm going to be doing a breakdown / review of this, Marvel's House of M. This is an amazing storyline. If you haven't read it, definitely read it, but you can kind of hear a little bit of a breakdown of it today and decide if you want to dig more into it in the future. Okay, well, first thing I want to do today is say thank you again. Huge shout out to my boy Ryan from Nerdy Blurb TV. He helped me recently not only just do my logo, but he helped me with my new intro that you just saw. So Ryan, thank you so much, bro. You've been an amazing help. Okay, so for today's breakdown, it's going to be from the trade paperback series. It's House of M 1 through 8, written by Brian Michael Bendis, and the artwork by Frank Coipel. There's also some other artists in the book that are featured in some other little things, but the main artist is Frank Coipel. In this story, mutants rule over mankind, under the leadership of Magneto and his children Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. There are only a few scattered groups of heroes that exist in a rebellion against the mutant domination, and Wolverine is the only one who remembers the world as it should be. Okay, so it starts off with a very tortured and emotional Scarlet Witch. We see this reality that she's built around her that's not real, basically containing Vision and her children. And then we see Charles Xavier talking with her, basically trying to work her through this and bring her back to reality. Then we see Charles Xavier and the X-Men headed to meet the Avengers. They're basically going over to the Avengers to discuss the situation and figure out how best to deal with it. Where some are basically to the point of saying that killing off Scarlet Witch is going to be the only way to save the world. Others feel like, no, she's too much of a dear friend and ally. We have to find another way. So now we jump to a scene where we see Quicksilver talking with Magneto, and he's explaining that he believes that the Avengers, X-Men, basically are going to kill Wanda. And then Magneto makes the comment that maybe that's the best thing. Okay, so we see the team show up at a very desolate, kind of run-down looking Genosha. And we also see these different aspects to characters we know, like Kitty Pryde teaching students in Genosha. We see Dr. Stephen Strange as a psychologist. Then we have Detective Sam Wilson and Luke Cage, who is leading an underground Sapien rebellion. Okay, now is when Wolverine comes into the story. He basically wakes up in bed with Mystique, so we start to see flashes of his actual memory of the way the world should be and what he does remember, and then he basically gets into it with his team, kind of gets into a fight, battles with them, and then manages to escape. So this is where Wolverine shows up to meet Luke Cage and kind of talk to the people in the underground Sapien Rebellion. In the midst of this is when the Sentinels show up and start attacking and coming after the humans. Okay, so as this gala that is building up, this huge party they're having at the House of Magnus, not too long after this, the heroes show up. So at this point of the story, there's a lot of unanswered questions. Charles Xavier has been missing. Nobody knows what happens. So everybody's trying to get a feeling of what's going on, where Charles went, how this all came about. We see a scene where it jumps to Doctor Strange talking with Wanda, trying to work through this with her, figure out what's all gone on, and if there's any way to fix it. Then we see it jump to Magneto and Quicksilver, and this conversation that introed in the beginning of the story. We see that Quicksilver is actually the reason and the one behind all this. He is the one that has manipulated Scarlet Witch to turning the world into this reality. So now we see basically Magneto freaks out on Quicksilver, blaming him for all this. Everything's kind of going wild. Quicksilver ends up dying. This does a number on Scarlet Witch, which also brings her to the place to believe that mutants are the cause of all this. And this is where she has that famous line, "No more mutants." Ooh. Did you say no more mutants? What? Alright, so now it flashes back to basically what we believe the current timeline, the world's back to normal. It cuts over to Wolverine, and you see that Wolverine actually has his memories. He remembers his whole life, which is something that's always been a mystery before. Then we see Emma Frost use Cerebro, which now the truth comes out. We see that the majority of the mutant population is gone. Either they've changed back to normal or whatever. There are still like a few mutants here and there lingering around, but I want to say like 95% of the mutant population are no longer mutants. Alright, then the last look we get is Wanda in some far off place, basically unknown where she's at, and that's pretty much the end of the first part of the story. So like I said, this is one of my favorite stories. If you guys enjoyed this video, I encourage you to please read the story all the way through. Then you really can get every aspect of it. All I can really do is do a kind of a quick rundown. Okay, well that's the end of the story, and that's the end of my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. I always appreciate the feedback. Not to mention that will enter you into our giveaway, which we are just a few people away from our first giveaway prize mark, which is 100 subscribers. So keep watching, and probably by my next video, I'll probably be calling the winner out for the Winner's Choice poster. And then we're doing, at 500, we're doing a Winner's Choice DVD or Blu-ray, and at 1,000, we're doing movie tickets. Alright, well that's it guys. For the Quantum Corner, I'm Matt Stockholm saying, stay super everybody.